जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन प्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यशोदानंदन प्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायेमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, so today we are going to discuss the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter number 6 and verse number 15. This is a beautiful description of the conversation between Narad Muni and Vyasadeva. So I'll just recite the verse and then we can repeat and then we can read the translation. तस्मिन् निर्मनुजे अरण्ये पीपलोपस्थ आश्रितः आत्मना आत्मनाम् आत्मस्थं यथा श्रुतम् अचिन्तयम्। तस्मिन् निर्मनुजे अरण्ये पीपलोपस्थ आश्रितः आत्मना आत्मनाम् आत्मस्थं यथा श्रुतम् अचिन्तयम्। तस्मिन् निर्मनुजे अरण्ये पीपलोपस्थ आश्रितः आत्मना आत्मनाम् आत्मस्थं यथा श्रुतम् अचिन्तयम्। Anyone can repeat? Would like to repeat? तस्मिन् निर्मनुजरण्ये पीपलोपस्थ आश्रितः आत्मना आत्मनाम् आत्मस्थं यथा श्रुतम् अचिन्तयम्। Tasmin nirmanuj aranye pipalopastha ashritaha atmana atmanam atmastham yatha shrutam achintayam. Anyone from the online?
Tasmin
Go ahead, Arun Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu. Tasmin nirmanuje and ranye
Tasmin nirmanuj aranye
pipalopastha ashritaha
pipalopastha ashritaha
atmanat manam atmastam
atmana atmanamastham
yata shrutam achintayam.
yatha shrutam achintayam.
Tasmin nirmanuje aranye
Tasmin nirmanuje aranye
pippalopastha ashritaha
pipalopastha ashritaha
atmanatmanam atmastam
atmanam atmanam atmastham
yata shrutam achintayam.
yatha shrutam achintayam. Translation. So do you want me to read this one, the word by word translation? Okay. Tasmin, in that, nirmanuje, without human habitations, aranye, in the forest, pipalaha, banyan tree, upaste, sitting under it, ashritaha, taking shelter of, atmanaha, by intelligence, atmanam, the super soul, atmastham, situated within myself, yatha shrutam, as I heard it from the liberated soul, achintam, thought over. Translation. After that, under the shadow of banyan tree, in an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within it, using my intelligence as I heard, as I learned from the liberated soul. The purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So one should not meditate according to one's personal whims. So one should know perfectly well from the authoritative source of scriptures through the transparent medium of bona fide spiritual master. And by proper use of one's trained intelligence for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. The consciousness is firmly developed by a devotee who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the orders of spiritual master. Sri Naradji contacted bona fide spiritual masters, served them sincerely, and got enlightened rightly. Thus, he began to meditate. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanakshalaakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So this is a beautiful conversations in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, between Narad Muni and Vyasadeva. So these are the actually the the hierarchy of the conversation between Narad Muni and Vyasadeva. So verse number 1 to 4 is that Vyasadeva inquires about Narada's life in the chapter 6, and verse number 5 to 10, Narada speaks about his mother's departure that we already discussed now, and verse number 11 to 19 is Narada's life meditations and vision of the Lord, and today we are going to discuss of that one verse. And the next 20 to 25, the Lord instructs and consoles Narada, and 26 to 33 is Narada's full protection, and 34 to 38 is Narada concludes and departs. So this is a beautiful descriptions here. So before this one verse, I just would like to, this is a text number 15, where Narada, he was meditating, and the meditating Prabhupada here says that one should not follow whimsically any meditation process or any other devotional process. And before this verse, Narada, he was just would like to go. Before this verse, this 14 text, here it is mentioned that the traveling of Narada, how he travels. And here he mentioned that he was a thirsty, hungry, and then it was a beautiful descriptions of trees, what he was saying while traveling, mountains, rivers. And he says that simply he was so thirsty, so simply by touching water, he got relieved. And when he was thirsty, he also drank that water. So that beautiful description, here it is written. But the question is, because this is a revised version of Srimad Bhagavatam. Revised, why I'm saying revised version? Because initially, whatever Vyasadeva, he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, he was not happy. He was not happy with his own compilation. And later on, later on, Narad Muni instruct him to, because it was missing the spotless glories of the Supreme Lord. And Narad Muni instruct him. And so whatever now Srimad Bhagavatam we have, this is a complete revised version of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Vyasadeva he wrote it. So the question is, why is describing here the mountains, rivers, and then he was thirsty, and then he drank a water. In Srimad Bhagavatam, if this is the revised version, then why this traveling? It is mentioned here. So generally when we travel, when we go to the Chicago, then how we travel, then we'll plan that, okay, I will go to Naperville, and then because where I will get the lunch. So we always planned our trip, but that is not actual travel. Here Narad Muni's traveling is not a sightseeing purpose. Oh, nice rivers, nice mountains. That is not the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is it is describing here. Srila Prabhupada said that every word, every line in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it has some potency. So very important, because that's a Vyasdev. That is what it is, a revised version after the instructions of Narad Muni. So these mountains, rivers, and all, whatever the Narad Muni he traveled, that is it was not a planned trip that, okay, where I will get lunch, where I will drink water. No, nothing. He was completely dependent on the Supreme Lord, and then he traveled. And then he traveled. And if you see here, here it is mentioned that when he was tired and he drank water from the river, and then he got relieved. But at the age of 50, when he was at the 5 years old, that time Narad Muni's mother, Narad Muni's mother was dead because the poisonous snake that bit Narad Muni's mother. And Narad Muni, he couldn't do anything. Simply he started his journey, traveling journey to all these rivers, mountains, and then later he started meditating on the Supreme Lord. So this travel journey, so whenever the devotees travel, so that descriptions also is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you see the Dhruva Maharaj also, when he traveled to the forest, so there also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that descriptions you see that, what he was in the forest and all. So our travel, it is all for sightseeing purposes. We plan for the lunch, dinner, and everything. So when I visited actually, during my college life, Mayapur Gurukul school, and the students over there in the Gurukul, ISKCON Gurukul students, they generally, the teachers, they don't tell them that when where we are going tomorrow. Just one day night before, they tell that tomorrow we have to go there. And that is a yatra actually. So that, because the students should learn that they shouldn't plan anything for their trip. Even the drinking water also they don't carry. They simply go door to door, and the food also they don't carry in the Gurukuls. So they train them like that. So they Madhukari, they go door to door and they beg for the food. And that is a real travel, because that is the reason here this Narad Muni's travel pastime. So that is the lessons what the great devotees, they learned from the Narad Muni's traveling pastimes. So the devotees also, they don't carry waters. I asked the students, I discussed with the Gurukul students, they said even they don't know where they are going and all. Simply they all go together, completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. And that travel is a spiritual travel. What I travel actually generally most of the times, I plan my trip, where I will get lunch and all. So that even if, although I am visiting any spiritual, even if I visit any temple also, I plan. Last time I went to Chicago, then I planned where I will get the prasad and lunch, and then where I will get halt. So this travel, it's not like a pure 100% devotional travel like how the Narad Muni he traveled it. So that is the reason actually this travel journey is also very spiritual. And here, Vyasadev, he described the journey, travel journey of Narad Muni here. Dhruva Maharaj's travel journey was also, it was described there. And if you see, the Lord Chaitanya's traveling also completely to the Lord Chaitanya's whole travel to the South India Yatra, and from through Jharkhand forest to Jagannath Puri, that is whole, it was unplanned travel from of Sanatan Goswami's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's journey travel. So that is also described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And my Guru Maharaj book, Journey Home, the word itself, journey, it is there. So that is a travel. That is a completely, it was an unplanned journey from United States to India. He never thought that I have a flight. He never booked any flight initially. In fact, he didn't have any money. So that was a completely, so those who are very great, exalted devotees, so they don't plan their trip. They are completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. So that travel is also a spiritual journey. So that is the reason I think my Guru Maharaj named Journey Home. So it's like a journey that is a completely spiritual travel. And so here, what is the previous verse is that when Narad Muni, he was traveling through the forest, he was thirsty and he drank water. So similar, this kind of pastimes we will see now. Similarly, when Parikshit Maharaj, he went to the forest, he was also tired and he was also thirsty. And he was looking for water, someone can give him some water. He was looking for water, and then he saw a Shamika Rishi was there. And Shamika, he was in the full meditation. And Parikshit Maharaj, he requested him, can you please give me some water? And according to Vedic etiquettes, so king has he was a king actually, Parikshit Maharaj. He can ask a water, and someone, if anyone asks water, so one has to provide that water. So we cannot say no. That is a Vedic actually, the principle, one of the principle. So according to that, Parikshit Maharaj, he asked that water, and what later on what happens, everyone we knows that. Then that snake, similarly here also snake is here, and then we'll go these pastimes. So that snake, it was wrapping around the shoulders of Shamika Rishi, and then later on he got cursed. Parikshit Maharaj got cursed that in the 7 days you will die. So sometimes what happens, here Narad Muni's mother, when she passed away, no one was there to take care of him, Narad Muni. He was completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. So someone might say that, and this kind of situation, it occurs to many people in this material world. But the interpretation is very important. The interpretations is what? Like someone might say that, oh, when I was small or when I was young, my father passed away, and then I was completely collapsed because I had no any support. And that is the reason now my situation is like this. And then someone might say that, oh, my father passed away when I was young, then I took the whole responsibility on my own shoulder. And that is the reason I grown up like this. The situation, both, they face the same situation. Father passed away and they were helpless, but the interpretation is different. So this interpretation is very important now. So here Narad Muni's interpretation, Narad Muni also faced this situation. 5 years old boy, he saw that, oh, my mother, she passed away now. I could not do anything. And his interpretation was very important. And that is the reason now Narad Muni's pastimes is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he's such a great devotee. So where I will now question is, so where I will get this interpretation now? How I can interpret if I occur this kind of any difficulties or situations in my life? So these interpretations we can learn from Srimad Bhagavatam. This intelligence, when we have this intelligence, then we can interpret it very properly. So where we'll get this intelligence? This intelligence will get from Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the reason actually this beautiful pastime, it is here that it is Narad Muni's life, Vyasadeva, it is a describing in the Srimad Bhagavatam, very first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But the similar pastime, what happens now, we will see the different pastimes related to this, and then we'll try to connect that. So when Parikshit Maharaj, he was also thirsty, like how Narad Muni was thirsty, but he got cursed. He got cursed, and he was also traveling through a forest, but he was cursed that in 7 days he will die. Shrungi, he cursed him. But later on, what happens? Then Parikshit Maharaj, he did not, he can decide that, okay, now it was not my fault. It was not my fault. The Shringi who gave me a curse, he was a Kshatriya, actually, he was a king. He could have decided that, okay, anyway, I am going to die in 7 days. Then before that, I will kill Shringi or Shamika Rishi. No, he did not do it like that. And then he simply accepted that fact. Oh, this is an arrangement by the Lord. So what should I do now in these 7 days? That was a approach of Parikshit Maharaj when he was occurred into that kind of situation, same situations. Here also Narad Muni, he did the same process. But what happens later? Actually, later the Parikshit Maharaj's son, whose name is Janmejaya, and Janmejaya, he was a king, and he thought that my father Parikshit, who is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord, and he did not have any fault, he was a faultless, and this Takshaka snake, it came and bite my father. How can this snake can bite to my father? My father was such a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, because when Parikshit Maharaj, he was in the womb of his mother, that time Krishna came and protected him. So before he appeared to the, he came to this material world, then Lord himself gave him a darshan, like he appeared before him. That was a Parikshit Maharaj high qualification. And then his son, as a Kshatriya, he said that now I will take this avenge, that I will kill whole the the Vansha, the family dynasty of the snakes. And then he started the fire sacrifice yajna. And then that was a Vedic powerful mantra. By each, he's invoking each snake name, and then he's killing all the snake, different types of snakes. Actually, it is described in the Puranas. And then he invoked many snakes. He snakes that I will finish this all snakes. You will not see this snake in this material world, because this Takshaka snake could not understand the purity and the devotional of my father. And that is the reason he in very angrily mood in a avenge. Actually, Prabhupada, what he used the word avenge, not the revenge. Generally devotees, they don't take revenge. And I check in the dictionary avenge word. So there are 3 words actually: avenge, revenge, and then retaliation. Retaliation. So this avenge means, see Prabhupada, how he is intelligence for each word, how like Srimad Bhagavatam, he said that each word, each line of Srimad Bhagavatam, it has some importance and it has some potency. And that is the reason this revised version of Srimad Bhagavatam after the Narad Muni's instruction. And then Prabhupada also, he for one word, he waited for many days just to use the correct word for that Sanskrit, because the English, it doesn't have a proper words for each Sanskrit word, like the superlative degrees, how we say the love is a verb actually, but only in English, if you want to say love in a superlative degree, how we say I love you so much. There is no any superlative degree for the love. But in Sanskrit, Rupa Goswami, he described the different hierarchical levels of the love, like how Radharani's love, our love, and Radharani's love and Gopi's love towards Krishna. It's a completely different. We cannot use the same word love. So English, that is the limitations of English language. But Rupa Goswami, he beautifully described the hierarchy of different stages of the love. So Prabhupada, he used the word avenge. Why I'm describing this? Avenge means devotees, they never take revenge. It says avenge. Avenge means it's a kind of revenge, but for the justification. For justice, not justification, for the justice. So here, the Parikshit Maharaj's son, Janmejaya, he did fire sacrifice yajna in the avenge of his father. Like he said, oh, my father was killed because of this biting snakes, Takshaka. So I will now finish the whole family dynasty of the snakes. So here also, Narad Muni's mother, she was bitten, like it was bitten by the poisonous snake. But now you see how the Janmejaya, he retaliated there. He avenged there. He avenged there because he was a Kshatriya and he was doing for his father. He says that my father was such a pure devotee and now I will finish this whole snake's dynasty. And then he invoked many snakes in that fire sacrifice yagya in the Agni. And one by one snake that came and he was killing one by one snakes. And it was the sacrifice was going on and on and on. But unfortunately, the whatever it is, fortunately or unfortunately, he didn't still recite the name of Takshaka snake. That has to come. And before that only, then Vyasadeva and Ashtika Muni, they came and they requested Janmejay, that Janmejay, why are you killing this all the snakes? It was only just one Takshaka snake that snake bites to your father Parikshit Maharaj, and now you are taking revenge for the justice to kill all snakes. They didn't have any fault, so why are you killing them? So somehow he convinced Janmejay, and then Janmejay was he stopped his fire sacrifice actually. And by the way, this Takshaka snake, it is still there in this material world now in the Kali Yuga, but not in the earthly planet, which was bitten to Parikshit Maharaj, but it is in the different planet. So that was like actually the devotees also, someone convinced them, then devotees stopped. So that was not like a avenge. So this snake, why we are discussing this here, Narad Muni did not do anything like this. How Parikshit Maharaj's son, he did it. Parikshit Maharaj also, by the way, he didn't do anything. He just simply accepted that, okay, snake will come, it will bite me. Because at the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, last canto, last chapter, at the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Sukadeva Goswami asked, now Bhagavatam was over, completely the pastime was discussed, and then he asked to Parikshit Maharaj, so Parikshit, so now are you scared? Like, are you fearful? No, because the snake is going to come and bite you, because 7 days was finished now. And now the snake, according to the curse, like as per the curse, the snake should come and bite to Parikshit Maharaj. And then Parikshit Maharaj said, my dear Sukadeva Goswami, now I am not, now I am fearless. So I am not going to die, because anyway, you have from your lotus mouth, you beautifully described the Srimad Bhagavatam and the spotless glories of the Supreme Lord. And then when he said, after that, the Takshaka snake came and they bite to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj, he perfected his life and he went back to Godhead. So that was a beautiful pastime. So here, the Narad Muni, he did not take anything like how the Parikshit Maharaj's son avenge towards the snake. He simply accepted that fault. The another case is Dhruva Maharaj also. So when Dhruva Maharaj, he traveled, when Dhruva Maharaj's brother Uttama, he was killed by Yakshas. And then Dhruva Maharaj, he went to the forest, and then he decided that, okay, now I will also kill, not also, but he said, I will kill the whole Yaksha dynasty now. Because he didn't know which Yaksha killed. So he said that I will finish the whole Yaksha dynasty. And in the Alkapuri, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, it is beautiful description, it is there. And Dhruva Maharaj, he simply went and he fought against the Yakshas. And Yakshas were very powerful, by the way. Yakshas means if you just high level, if you just want to understand what is the power of Yakshas, means like we are human beings, we are on the earthly planet, and demigods, they are in the heavenly planet, and Yakshas, they are in between. So they are more powerful than us, but less powerful than the demigod. So those are Yakshas. So these Yakshas, Dhruva Maharaj, he was fighting alone there with all Yakshas, and they have these all Yakshas, they have a mystic power, and they were fighting to Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj, he was just because his brother Uttama was killed. And Prabhupada, by the way, he beautifully described, just imagine that if his brother Uttama was killed, and imagine that Dhruva Maharaj said, that's fine now, Yaksha killed it, and he just gave up, suppose. And then what happens? Then Prabhupada mentioned at one point in time that, then some people might say that, oh, Dhruva Maharaj is so biased, because during his childhood time, Uttama, he was in the another lab. That's what now Dhruva Maharaj is not taking any avenge. By the way, I'm using the word avenge, not revenge. So Dhruva Maharaj is not taking any revenge. You just said that avenge. So that is the reason, that is also, it is glorified in the Srimad Bhagavatam. When Dhruva Maharaj, he went in the forest and he was fighting alone with the Yakshas. So that is justification, it is there. And Dhruva Maharaj is a Kshatriya, by the way. Narad Muni was not a Kshatriya. So Dhruva Maharaj is a Kshatriya. So as a Kshatriya, he went to the forest and he was fighting the Yakshas. And Yakshas, how many Yakshas? So one Yaksha, it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, one Yaksha at a time, they can release 6 arrows. 6 arrows at a time. One Yaksha. And there were how many Yakshas? 130,000 Yakshas. And this number is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. 130,000 Yakshas they were there. And one Yaksha can release 6 arrows. So how many arrows at a time it was coming towards Dhruva Maharaj is 130,000 into 6. I don't know how to calculate that now. You just imagine that many arrows, like how Arjuna, he was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, so many arrows was coming towards his direction. So here also, Dhruva Maharaj, he was alone, and but this many arrows was coming towards him, but nothing was happened actually. And Yakshas were wondered, who is this boy? He was continuously fighting with us. And Prabhupada simply he mentioned in this purport that simply by the power of devotion, whatever he performed the austerity in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Yakshas could not kill Dhruva Maharaj. That is the power of the potency of the devotional service. That is the Dhruva Maharaj potency. And later on, what happened? And Dhruva Maharaj only can release 3 arrows, by the way. One person can release 3 arrows towards this 130,000 arrows into 6. Only 3 arrows. And still, Yakshas were not able to kill Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj was killing Yakshas like very mercilessly, and he was killing and he was going ahead. So here Uttama was killed, but Dhruva Maharaj, he took avenge, because this is also justified by Srila Prabhupada. And then later on, what happens? Then later on, because then Yakshas, they used their mystic power, and then saintly person, they realized it. All the sadhus, they were there, and they requested Dhruva Maharaj, now Dhruva Maharaj, so please invoke Narayanastra. And then when Dhruva Maharaj, he invoked Narayanastra, whole Yakshas, they stopped their all the mystic powers. But somehow, then Swayambhu Manu, who is like Dhruva Maharaj's father is Uttanapad, and Uttanapad father is the Swayambhu Manu. So the grandfather of Dhruva Maharaj, Swayambhu Manu himself and Kuvera, they both came and they requested to Dhruva Maharaj, please now stop this war against the Yakshas. Why are you killing those who are the faultless Yakshas? Unnecessary you are killing now. Now whatever you have done until now, that is sufficient. Because you can understand that your brother Uttama was killed. And then Dhruva Maharaj, he stopped that war, that fight. So that was the thing. But here, if you compare these things, Narad Muni is simply like, okay, my mother was bitten by the poisonous snake. He just simply accepted that and he went to the forest. He didn't do anything like that. And Parikshit Maharaj was also did the same thing. Parikshit Maharaj, by the way, he was a Kshatriya. He would have done that one. It was allowed by, according to his dharma, his position. Okay. But here Narad Muni was not Kshatriya. He was simply accepted the fact, whatever he did it, whatever it was happened, and it is said in the translation that this was by the this was the arrangement of the Lord. He made it. He simply accepted that and he went to the forest. Now the verse number, what we are discussing is here. Rupa said, what we are discussing is the Narad Muni now, after that his travel, the spiritual travel journey, Narad Muni, he started his meditation from the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada here, he is mentioned in the purport that one should not follow any whimsically this meditation process. So it should be according to the injunction and according to the bona fide authority, one should follow this meditation. So there is a beautiful, actually, the description in the autobiography of Giriraj Swami Maharaj upon this meditation. So before Giriraj Maharaj, he came to Krishna consciousness. He met Srila Prabhupada. He traveled to China before India, because he was also in a searching of the God, and he was also trying to understand the spirituality and the different process. So he went to China, and in the China, there was a spiritual master. So he used to do all those meditation, and there were many students under him who was taking the training or who's guiding to them. And then Giriraj Maharaj, all the way he traveled from United States to China. And he, by the way, he mentioned in his autobiography this beautiful pastime, this meditation. So I just recollected that here Narad Muni and Prabhupada said that one should not follow any whimsically meditation process. So that this example, it is there. And he was there, and how Giriraj Maharaj, they asked to do meditations there in the China. Giriraj Maharaj, he wrote in the book, in his book, autobiography book, they said that there was a one white big board, and then they marked one small dark spot, black spot on the whiteboard. And this teacher asked these all students to meditate on that black spot, one black spot on the whiteboard. And these all students, they were trying to meditate on that black spot. And Giriraj Maharaj mentioned that it was so difficult to meditate on that black spot. And that spot was very small spot, like one dot it was there. And then in between, what happens, this teacher, he had a stick in his hand, and then he used to walk among the students. And whoever is not meditating on focusing on that black spot, he used to beat them. And then Giriraj Maharaj said, rather than meditating on that black spot, I was always meditating on the teacher, because I thought that, oh, he will come and he will beat me. So everybody, they were very scared now. Oh, teacher is coming now, let's meditate on this black spot. So that meditation was like a not useful. And then Giriraj Maharaj said that, oh, this is not useful, actually, this is bogus meditation. And then he came to again back to America. And then later on, he met Srila Prabhupada, and then Srila Prabhupada, with the nice, by the associations of Srila Prabhupada, he understood all this meditation process. And this is beautifully described by Giriraj Swami Maharaj in his autobiography. So Narad Muni here, he went to the forest and he started meditating on the Supreme Lord. So what we can take this one, interpretation is most important. So sometimes we also occur this kind of situations, and how Narad Muni, he took it. This is simply by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord, and he accepted that difficulties in his life, and he followed the devotional process. And we saw that when how Parikshit Maharaj was also, it was bitten by the snake, Takshaka snake, and he simply accepted that fact, even if he was also faultless, but he simply accepted that one. But Janmeja, his son, because as a son or the father, you can take the avenge for the justice. So he took it. But Parikshit Maharaj, he simply accepted that one. And Dhruva Maharaj also, for his brother, how he take the avenge for that one. But they both were Kshatriyas, but here Narad Muni, he simply accepted that and he went to the forest. So that was a beautiful, the descriptions. Here it is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll end here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So anyone has any questions or any correction? Did I speak very fast? No, right, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Venumadri Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was
Did I
a
speak very
beautiful.
fast, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu, for me it was okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was nice. It was beautiful meditation on different aspects of the story. And I learned the difference between revenge and avenge from you. It's very beautiful for oneself and for the justice, right? So that is the difference. So it's very nice.
That is Prabhupada used in the Dhruva Maharaj pastimes in the book. So I was listening to that, and Prabhupada used the word avenge.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. It was very, very wonderful. How we take a given situation is this, similar for different people. How one interprets it and how one takes that and applies it in their life will define their path. Yeah, very, very nicely said, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone would like to add something or correct something, or any questions online?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for your wonderful, reading. And yeah, it's how you connected, as mentioned, Venumadri Prabhu. It was very nice, and the word avenge and revenge, also, so that's wonderful, Prabhu. You got good points to bring it here and explain to us. Yeah, it's wonderful. In the past times of the different stories. So that is also wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Any questions or? Stop? No, you want to say, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu, I think it's very nice, but the first paragraph is also very important, that one should not meditate according to one personal limits. I think you are collaborating on that also. Very nice, thank you very much.
That is Giriraj Maharaj. He explained it in autobiography. Yeah. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu,
Yes.
I have one question, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhupada says in the purport, like Ashok Prabhu was saying, one should not meditate according to one's personal whims, right? But Narada Muni has already received this knowledge from the Bhakti Vedantas.
Correct.
So his mother is dead, and he didn't have to. I mean, one aspect. I mean, at the age of 5, what he is doing is amazing. Now that he is realizing, interpreting that there is a bigger, plan by the Lord. So I should go north. So he could have just sat where he was, and he could have meditated, right?
Correct.
What's the significance of his traveling north? That's what. Can you?
Oh, the north, the direction, I don't know, Prabhu. North, why
No,
only?
yeah. I think, normally we always hear they're going towards Himalayas, right? I mean, things like
Yeah.
that. But
No, not Himalayas actually, Prabhu. What happens? Yeah, Himalayas is now for the different. Generally, people because see for the generally during those like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara, if you see those people, the great devotees, they always used to go to the forest, and it is specifically mentioned for the age of Kali. We need not to go to the forest. What we are doing here, we can do at the same place. And it is beautifully said, Nalage Sai Jave Vanantara. Nala means no. One should not need to go to the forest. Vanantara. Vanantara means it is a beautiful shloka by Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj is a great devotee of the Vitthal and Rukmini. He said this means, he was glorifying Kali Yuga, and in the glorifications of Kali Yuga, he said that Nalage Sai Jave Vanantara. The beauty of this Kali Yuga is that we need not to go to the forest. That is the beauty. But during those pastimes, everyone, they went to the forest. Even you see Prahlad Maharaj, he went to the forest. Even the demonic person, Hiranyakashipu, he also went to the forest. So Dhruva Maharaj, he went to the forest. Then Prahlad Maharaj, he also went to the forest. Narad Muni also, he went to the forest. Then Mrigari, he was also in the forest. And then whole village used to come and give him some food at one point. So that was actually, by Yuga and Yuga, there is a one process actually. So in Kali Yuga, you never see that someone went to the forest. No, you will not see. Even Radhanath Maharaj's whole journey was there, but that was not meant to go to the forest. And he was also in the Himalayas and caves and all. But finally, he left that place, and then now he is in the all Chicago, New York. And so that's what I'm saying. He's on the streets on the Chicago's, New York. So that is actually the intention. The main intention is not, I don't know the direction north, why it is north or south, but the main is going to the forest. That was actually the process, Vedic process. Like fire sacrifice also. Why Janmejaya? He did fire sacrifice to take revenge of all the snakes. So that is a one process, because the fire sacrifice. So one process, it is a Vedic by the Veda, it is a described that. So he just followed that, the process. I will just tell this one. So this is not any authentic the process, authentic information. I will just share it because not too many people here. Actually, there are many different snakes, types of snakes. And Janmejaya, he killed many snakes. Actually, I don't like snakes. Actually, I hate those snakes. But by the mercy of Janmejaya, many snakes was killed. And in the Mayapura, there is no any. Don't ask me whether you have any authenticity for this information what you're saying now. I have some brahmachari friends from the Mayapur. They said that there is one snake in the Mayapur in Calcutta. If that bites you, you will die after 1 year.
1 year?
1 year, yes. There are some brahmachari who told me, because I stayed there for some time, and they told me you will die after 1 year. And then I said, how it is possible? They said, after 6 months, it starts showing some symptoms. You will get some fever, and then again, you will take some medicines. just to get rid of this fever, and then again you're okay. But again you will have a fever after some time, after a couple of days. So slowly, very slow poison. And some doctors, they know that if this symptoms happens, they are giving some medicines for that, for the treatment. But there is no any medical science. Now doctor is here, Dr. Ashok. So I don't want to challenge anything about the medical and something. But this is just, I heard it. So then I realized that, wow, different types of snakes. Oh, so I very thankful to the Janmejay actually. This is, he killed almost half of the snakes there. So that is the, like this one. So yeah, so Prabhu, I hope I satisfied your answer why I should go to the forest. So that was the.
Yes,
But-
Prabhu. I think that is a very good explanation.
Yeah, with
I
my
think
limited
direction
knowledge.
north may not have relevance, but we are reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj.
Mhm.
Even though he had such a beautiful life, at the end he goes to the forest also. That's the yuga. The dharma for that yuga that they are following.
But anyone who's a pure devotee like Narad Muni and all, for them this direction, Vastu,
yeah,
and
no, it doesn't matter.
astrological, it doesn't matter, Prabhu. Now today is eclipse, so still we offer to the bhoga to the Lord. That doesn't happen because this all eclipse and all, it is not going to matter for the deities. They handle all those things. So these are all when the pure devotional, like Dhruva Maharaj, it was impossible that at a one time your this many arrows it is coming towards the direction. You will not get any logic that how Dhruva Maharaj was survived. Nobody can give the logic. It was only Srila Prabhupada said that only by the power of devotion it can happen like that. Nobody could kill Dhruva Maharaj. So when the pure devotees like Dhruva or Parikshit Maharaj or Narad Muni, then this direction, I think north, south, this doesn't matter. It will everything change.
Yeah.
Thank
Prabhu,
you.
since you brought up the solar eclipse thing, do we do anything special for the solar eclipse, Prabhu?
Oh, no, Prabhu, only during solar eclipse, actually, we should follow that and we should take the lunch. I think the timing, I don't know, but Rasik Gaurang Prabhu was telling me the timing is 10:30 to 1:30.
So we shouldn't take lunch before, either before or after, right?
Correct. And anything it is what, when I learned it from the my temple where I cultivated. So wherever, if you have anything like already opened or already ready-made, already ready foods, so just keep the tulsi now there.
Tulsi, okay.
Just keep everywhere tulsi. That's it. And close all your food pots so that that's it. And you have to keep the tulsi in each food items, what you're going to eat after that. If the food is already ready now, something you're going to eat after 1:30, whatever it is. So
Thank you, Prabhu.
thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.